Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. So we know the migrant crisis has been going on for quite some time. Everyone has voiced their displeasure, their disdainment for how this is going on under the Joe Biden administration, and how that this is one of the key reasons, big reasons why a lot of people are talking about voting Donald Trump back in, which is probably a big reason why the Democrats are trying to put him in prison. But that's another story. So every now and then, stats come out, a story come out that is worth talking about because, every day the same thing. You hear the same thing. Migrants coming over. And it gets old, it gets stale. And you know how the American people, our attention span, people know that after a while, people be in an uproar in the beginning, and then after a while it dies down and then eventually becomes a forgotten topic. But I don't think we should allow this to be a forgotten topic, especially so close to an election, the presidential election. And so lo and behold, just like clockwork, something big comes out that needs to be reported. I mean, it's out there, but it needs to be reported. So we're going to get into it. This is from MSN.com, and it reads, Biden administration quietly dismisses over 350,000 asylum applications from immigrants since 2022. 300,000 people. That is a lot. There are cities that don't have, I ain't talking about little towns. I'm talking about major cities that don't have that many people, or let's say mid-size, like suburbs. Can you imagine a suburb full of nothing but illegal migrants, staying in hotels, wandering the streets, robbing, stealing, doing whatever, street working, selling candy, little kids selling candy at 11 o'clock at night at the bus stop, things of that nature. Can you imagine that being a suburb, either where you live or close to where you live, or even like a zip code of where you might live? You see, put it like that. But 300,000 that now, when I first saw this come across one of my news feeds, I was like, okay, so dismissed. Does that mean that they tried to apply and he said, no, you can't get asylum, so send them back? That's the first thing I thought. But then I went ahead and read it. So let's get into it. This is by way of Fox News. And it says, as White House finalizes plans for a U.S.-Mexico clampdown that will shut off asylum requests and automatically deny entrance to migrants once a threshold is met. Now, he's talking about a few thousand a day. This is, why are you not, actually healing the bullet wound? All you doing is putting Band-Aid. You putting a lot of gauze and tight tape on a bullet, on a bullet wound, on a 50 cal bullet wound, trying to, squeezing it tight, trying to heal it. But it's going to continue to bleed, and it's going to continue to bleed and eventually get saturated. But it's nothing. You're not going in, doing no surgical work, sewing up arteries, any kind of organs. What do they call it? Closing off. I can't think of the word right now. Good Lord. But, shutting off any veins, anything need to be, whatever that needs to be done, and not suturing and sewing up and gluing up the skin, or maybe like an open dress. And you're not even trying to heal it. You just putting something on top of it, trying to appease the people just on the surface, but it's not. Dude, my big question is, when somebody does something, I always say that it gets to a point where you got to stop asking why and just say, hey, it is what it is. That's what they want to do. Okay, now I got to do what I got to do to, protect or do what's best for me and my family. But always in the back of your mind, you're like, but if they just could just tell us just the logical reason why this makes sense to the American people, not corporations who don't want to pay anybody. And that's another story that I might end up doing, is that people talk about how migrants do jobs and don't make a lot of money. They'll do jobs that we won't do and they'll get paid less. That's really that's like a half truth. I mean, if you look at it in the grand scheme of things, because unless you're talking about them working illegally, right? And like not having green card, not having papers, working somewhere, getting paid under the table. That statement is not true, because you can't, now you can have people come in and get illegal, whatever you call it, social security cards at a third, but that's nothing to do with the corporation. My point is businesses have to pay taxes. They had to turn in like what they make, the income, pay, what the payroll, business got to report to the government, everything, earnings, losses, all of it, employees, what they're paying, what they're taking in, all that kind of stuff. So everything has to be documented. You can mess around, and now I've seen stores where like young kids are working at like certain places, but again, it's like fake IDs, fake, social security cards, and the corporations may know that's what's going on, but on paper or what they file, it can be different. So if they get audited or looked into, they can say, "Oh man, I didn't know this is what he had to be." You know what I'm saying? So there's a way to get by that, but in the way that everybody talks and thinks, can't no migrant go to McDonald's and make less than minimum wage. Okay, on paper, can't do it. They have to make what the pay scale. They have to make what the pay scale is. Because they're not gonna go to McDonald's, get higher than the minimum wage, like in Texas, what, $7.25, $7.50, and they're gonna go to McDonald's and make $5 an hour. Can't do it. McDonald's can't get away with that. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not that they're gonna make less, because let's be honest, you go to any field, like I'm in the nursing field, the new people coming in, like a lot of the older seasoned people, they making, a lot more money, because they've been nursing for so long, especially if you go from job to job every couple of years, you can maximize your dollars, and boom, you can pretty much almost max out. And then you can do travel, make more money like that. Then you're working overtime, so you're working time and a half like that. So you can make a lot of money in nursing or any field if you play it right. Them youngers gonna come in. Now, if you don't play it right, them youngers will come in and could be making what you make, and maybe maybe around about what you make, maybe a little less. But if you play your cards right, everybody do right, them young folk, them new people that come into the business, they ain't making nothing. I can say when I started, I've been nursing, 6 years, a little over 6 years. And I know what I made, made like the nursing minimum pretty much, because I was new to the game. But now I'm making more than some people who've been nursing 15, 20 years, if not the same, or just about the same. But it's just because of the way, things worked out for me. And so now I'm making like, a lot of money in just 6 years or something. But like I said, that's how I go. But my point is, they're just not coming in working as nurses and making less than you. Now they might be making less than you because you are tenured and you've been there longer and you're making more money, and they come in making less. Okay, and they get you out of there. But that's just, you go through that with American citizens. But anyway, different video. Let's say the Biden administration has continued to allow hundreds of thousands of migrants to remain in the U.S. with what amounts to amnesty, according to a report. Amazing. So wait a minute. So he's not sending them back. Let's continue. A report released last month by Syracuse University Transactional Records Access Clearinghouse, TRAC, I've read, did stories about these people in the past. A nonpartisan data gathering organization that tracks immigration cases and backlog shows that since 2022, not even a full 2 years, over 350,000 asylum cases filed by migrants were closed by the U.S. government on the basis that those who filed did not have a criminal record or were not deemed a threat to the U.S. Once cases are terminated without a decision on the merits of their asylum claim, the migrants are removed from the legal system and they are not required to check in with authorities. There are American citizens who are not who, let's just say, have not committed a crime that they have been arrested for, charged for, found guilty of, all over the country, and may not get a charge until they're adults. And I've seen stories where guys are, let's say, shoot somebody, delete somebody, murder somebody, whatever. And the police are like, man, they look up his name and it's like, man, this dude has a clean record. And he's like 21, 22, 30 years old. She was a guy the other day deleted a police officer's daughter because the police officer deleted his son like years ago. So he's like 40 something years old, almost 50 years old. But my point is, just because people come over here and don't have a criminal background where they're from, or you can't trace their background, doesn't mean that they can't be criminal or they can't be up to no good. You can have women come over here, they ain't had no criminal record that you can look up, looking nice and sweet and everything. And then as soon as they get across the border, they hit the track. You see what I'm saying? So I would like to know exactly what is their vetting process. It also means, okay, I already said that. The New York Post reported that a memo sent out by the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Principal Legal Advisor Carrie Doyle in 2022 told agency prosecutors to dismiss cases for migrants who do not pose a threat to national security, not community, local security, but national security. They're talking about people who they may think are terrorists, but yet we've seen videos where guys cross the border and they look, well, I ain't gonna say they look, where people have been detained, arrested in New York or wherever, and it comes to find out they are part of a terrorist group, but they'd already made it into the country and they didn't come by themselves. Let's just be perfectly clear. If they got detained, where are the people who are with them that you don't know about? Maybe the new boots, the new recruits. Track's data shows that in the same year, there were 173,227 applications for asylums filed. Of those applications, immigration judges ordered 36,250 other applicants to be removed from the U.S., granted asylum to 31,859 applicants. The other 102,550 applications were reportedly dismissed or taken off the books. In 2023, there were 248,232 asylum applicants filed, of which 52,440 applicants were ordered to be removed. 43,113 granted asylum, and 149,305 were dismissed or taken off the books. So basically what it is, if I'm reading this right, all the people are filing for asylum because, the country is bad, like Venezuela, which is bad because of something America did in the first place. Pretty much helped create the situation that Venezuela is in financially and economically. So people are running to America, and America say, hey, your country is bad. Come here. So, it's almost like a guilt trip. So they look over these applications and you'll have some people they'll feel that really should be seeking asylum, and they'll grant those. And then look at these other ones and say, they're seeking asylum, but they don't seem like they would be a threat to us, so we'll let them stay too. What the hell is the purpose of having an asylum seeking program if you're just going to let people over anyway just because they look the part? Again, my question is, how does this benefit the American people, the citizens that are here, that have lived here, born and raised, went to school, went to your education system, getting the jobs that you allow in this country, making the money that you are allowing us to make, the minimum wage and paying the taxes that you want us to pay, obeying the laws that you have created, that you tweak every now and then to make sure that, keep some of us down and the rest of y'all thriving. The rules and regulations, the taxes, all this kind of stuff that we have to go through, the bullcorn we have to go through. what, how does these people being allowed to come over here now, how does that help us? How does that benefit the people that supposedly you work for? You got to make that if you could answer that question and give a logical answer, should I shut up and be like, hey, if it's going to benefit us, if that's what it is, then it is what it is. But until then, and I don't feel that'll happen. We're gonna just keep on saying, hey, Biden got to get up out of here. The numbers are much higher than under the Trump administration, when in 2019, before the pandemic, there were 87,018 asylum applicants filed, with 52,223 applicants removed from the country. What did it say? 24,109 granted relief and 4,746 applications dismissed. So you're talking about 4,000 compared to 350,000. Wow. In 2 years compared to 4 years. Like, really? When cases are closed, migrants are no longer faced with deportation or removal proceedings. They are also not obligated to leave the U.S. as they are no longer being monitored by ICE. So they just roam around the country freely. It said the applicants whose cases are dismissed are able to apply for asylum again, or they can seek out other forms of legal status like a family-based or employment-based visa, or even deferred action for DACA, childhood arrivals. The immigration court backlog has grown from 2.8 million at the end of the fiscal year 2023. What is it, like October, something like that? To nearly 3.6 million in fiscal year 2024, with immigration judges being unable to keep up with the current flow of new cases in the system. If your judges, it's like a backlog. If your judges can't keep up, then why are you still allowing more people to come in by the thousands, by the hundreds of thousands? Like I said, how is this benefiting the country as a whole? Because them judges could be, trying these cases of local criminals. Local issues, people that are already citizens, not people that, we got to pull this judge to be to look over immigration cases. And now they're coming in by the boatloads and they can't keep up. And the backlog is getting bigger and bigger, but yet you allow more and more people getting here. How does that benefit the American people? It says the number of new cases filed as well as the number of cases completed by immigration judges are both on pace to exceed all-time highs this year. The track reports noted, though, the pace of completion will be unable to stem the growth backlog. Exactly, because the growth is just steadily going. Like I said, the Band-Aid over a 50 cal bullet wound. It just slowed down a little bit, but eventually it's going to keep seeping, and then it's going to just run out. And then I wonder how much these judges are making, because truth be told, man, with that many cases in backlog, they not getting, I doubt they're getting paid enough for it. Like, seriously, you can't, there's no way. It's kind of like teachers in school. We know they're not getting paid enough when in the beginning, there was 15, 20 kids a class, and then it went up to like 20 something. It's like 30 something, 38, almost 40 kids a class now. And these kids are bad as hell, and their parents ain't teaching them nothing. They ain't raising them. With no morals and rules and regulations, and a lot of teachers are quitting because it's too much. Even the CPS people, they're like overwhelmed with a bunch of cases because don't have enough people, not paying enough, and you demanding more and more. But that's pretty much any dang on job or career out there, is that the powers that be demand more and more and more and want to use less and less people because money. It said the president has been weighing additional executive action, blah, blah, blah. You know what? I'll let y'all read the rest of this later. I'm going to put the link in the description box. The point is, again, you wonder why people are saying Biden got to go. His whole administration got to go because y'all are not doing what's right for the people, and you're not explaining it. All you telling us, especially us black folk, all you telling us is that we're just ignorant of the fact and don't understand how it works. And like I said before in many a video, tell us and show us how it works so we can understand and give us a reason to get up and go vote your administration back in. Until then, it's not happening. And I'll be honest, it was either like, they say Biden or Trump or the couch, or Trump or the couch. Man, to be honest, forget the couch. Forget the couch and forget Biden. Anybody. Even if Trump, let's say Trump is unable to run, I'm not sitting on no couch. I'm not going to do it. Because you know how they try to say a vote, if you sit on the couch, is a vote for Trump. Okay, well, then I'm going to go vote for Trump then. But I'm going to I sure ain't going to make it to where it's a vote for the couch, it's a vote for Biden. Can't do it. You showed me nothing. I'm sorry. That's just how I am. You know what I'm saying? Conservative, trying to, I'm a realist, not a liberalist, not all that kind of bull. I'm a realist. And see, it ain't just like selfishly, like, oh, I'm just like selfishly, people gotta see it my way because, like the alphabet, like the elemental P people, either see it my way because or no way at all. We're gonna shut you. No, I'm a realist. This is I'm talking about real life situation in my people. And looking at this and like, nah, this can't get no better. If you can't show me how it's going to get better, it's not going to get better. We got to cut it off. And I'm going to do everything I can to help cut it off. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below. Let's talk about it. You know how we do. Let's have dialogue. Support the channel. There's 4 ways you can support the channel that don't cost you anything but maybe 2 minutes out your day. And that's like, share, comment, and subscribe. Or if you do want to support monetarily, you can do super thanks, super chats, or go to the links below in the description box. And there's links that you can click on to help support that way. However you do it, I appreciate it. Just by watching, does it, and I thank you for that. But if you can give a like, if you can share it, however you do it, man, just say, I appreciate it and I thank you. And with that being said, I leave you in peace and I'll see you on the other side.